Welcome everybody to yet another Coffee Time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee, then I yap off into the void. Well met peeps, today, another latte in the Ellen mug. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, we have a certain Octomommy coming very very soon. And in this Coffee Time, I'm going to sip some of this, and I'm also going to tell you my pulling plans for Yidari. And I would also like to do some corrections from my first impressions of Yidari. Now I made a Coffee Time video talking about my experience after having played there for like 24 hours. Now that I've played there for, almost 2 weeks, I would like to adjust one rating in particular, and it is the fun rating. I initially gave her 7 out of 10, and I did say that I hope that she clicks more, and I finally get it, and I start enjoying her more, which I have. She was a little bit of an acquired taste. She did not click immediately, but now she's clicked, and I would like to raise her from a 7 to an 8 out of 10 on the fun scale. My other impressions, pull-wise, strength-wise, they kind of remain the same, but for the fun part, I do find her more fun now, and I'm enjoying playing her more now that I understand everything, and everything is kind of properly clicked. I will say that she's probably the highest skill ceiling character in the game, and there's so much goddamn stuff to her kit. And upcoming tomorrow, you'll finally get my Yidari guide, and I've worked my butt off to try to take all of her information and try to make it easy digestible and understandable. So I find her more fun. How does that affect my pulling plans? My pulling plans for Yidari. Now, from where I'm coming from, I don't really need Yidari for anything. If it's something I have, it is ice carries. Now everybody and their mother has a Miyabi, but I'm also one of, 5 people stupid enough in the world to also have a fully decked out Ellen. So anything that, Miyabi can't do, Ellen can do. So, do I need Yidari? No, for me, she's very much of a luxury pick. But it's a luxury pick that I'm having, one, too much fun with, so I'm not going to be skipping. But also, it is Lucia. She's called Yidari now, but she was called Lucia, and have been anticipating the nun since the beginning of the game. Now she's here and she's an octopus, and I roll with it. So, of course, we're not skipping the octopusy. So, we know we're going into her. Now is the question, how deep? Now, here's the thing. Where do we invest? Engine or Mindscapes? I'm still on the NDA from showing test server footage for a few more hours. So, pretend that Ellen is Octomommy. Octomommy's M1 is extremely fun. It basically allows you to do the big smash of your parry combo twice in a row. It just oils up the rotations a lot. Now, her engine is also obviously her best engine, but I got some good news for the people that don't want to be pulling for signature engines. Now, what I have found is that the Xingming birdcage is an excellent substitute if you don't want to go for your own signature engine. They are basically the same engine. They only miss a little bit of ice shear damage flavor text, and the overall impact on your team score in Deadly Assault is around 6%. So 6% lesser score running Xingming compared to running your own signature one. That is a very small difference, smaller than it usually is when it comes to SIG engines. And then we have another GOAT engine that is also extremely good. That is also an A-rank engine. Manato's engine will... What's his name? Grill or Wisp? Let me find him. Grill or Wisp is fucking phenomenal on Yidari. So they work kinda in the same way. Both Manato and Yidari, they drain their own HP and they get damage in return. Grill or Wisp, we trigger it by draining our own HP. Now, normal Yidari doesn't grind her staff enough to 100% keep this uptime, so you'll have to adjust your gameplay a little bit accordingly to be rubbing it slightly more. If you do, I found that Manato's engine, the drop-off from the signature one, is between 8 to 10% on average in Deadly Assault, which is also mind-blowingly good when it comes to a signature engine versus an A-rank engine. And now, this is kind of a feature with Rupture Agents. And now, this is a little neat feature when it comes to Rupture Agents. A-rank engines, they have a lot lower base attack than S-rank engines. You know who almost doesn't give a shit about base attack? Rupture Agents. So as long as the flavor text is kinda equal, the base attack plays a very little part compared to what it would do for attackers, for example. And if we look between Xingming Birdcage and if we look Grill or Wisp, the active effect is, basically the same. So we have some very, very good, easy accessible engines, and she can always borrow Yishuans because you will never be running Yishuan and Yidari on the same team. So, once Yishuan is done with her combat, slap that shit on Yidari and call it a day. So instead, what I will do, if the 50-50 gods are with me, and I have enough pulls to see it through, I'm skipping the engine and I'm instead going for the M1. Yidari's M1 are my favorite type of Mindscapes, where they actually severely impact how the character plays. In a fun way, you get to do more of the fun stuff, and it adds a little bit more like skill ceiling to the character. Skipping engine because I have very good alternatives, and instead we are gunning for M1 if my pools allow it. I'm quite close to pity, and I haven't done most of the events that are available right now, so I still have a lot of pools to be collected. We can also check how the retirement fund is doing, and in here we have around 46 pools just waiting. Hopefully we don't have to break that piggy bank, but we will see. Now Yidari is very adrenaline hungry, and her M2 gives you a shit ton of adrenaline. If I had enough pulls to do it, I would maybe try and push for that. I don't. I'm not gonna be that optimistic. Like, that's not gonna happen. If I could, I would. But instead, we're skipping engine, we're going M1. From my testing, M1 is a bigger boost overall to your score. It also makes the character more fun to play, which is the most important part for me. So, what's not to love? Now, this is not a should you pull video. I'll make one of those as well. But I can see the questions coming. Oh, Hako, this is my situation. What should I do? Well, I think if you have a fully level up Grill of the Wisp or a Xingming Birdcage, you can safely skip the engine and either just save your pools or take your engine pools and slap them into M1. Now, Yidari is cool as all hell and one of my favorite designs, but she is not gonna be a meta unit. I think the big ones coming up might be Dial In, and also, I always forget her name, but the sister to that fox guy from the temple coming in the patch after. I think those are gonna be the heavy hitters. So when we look back on Season 2, when we're in Season 3, I don't think like Yidari necessarily is gonna be one of the standout glowing stars together with like Yishuan and Yusua. She's a very, very good and solid agent, but your account won't suffer until eternity if you choose to not pull her. And I will say that she feels absolutely goddamn phenomenal at M0 with a more free-to-play accessible engine or borrowing Yishuans. And this is not the purpose of the video either, but if you're lacking premium teams and you're worried your Yidari will suck, I will say I've tried it out now with basically every stunner in the game, and Lycon is surprisingly awesome together with her. Palkra also will say that I was surprised by how good Lycon is with her. And you might be thinking, oh, he shreds. Rupture doesn't care about that. But what he shreds is ice damage resistance, which is different to defense. So Lycon is a very, very good, free-to-play friendly stunner to run together with Yidari. Alright peeps, these are made to be short and sweet. And I also want to get to drink my coffee before it gets too cold. So I'll be wrapping it up. Let me know your thoughts down below regarding Yidari. How deep into her are you going? How deep are you going? Or are you perhaps skipping? Also, tomorrow are NDA lifts, so look forward to showcase, guides, etc. And everybody, as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a big hug, and until next time, Hako out.
Oh, I wish that you could just take it easy. Lay back, fast the way I roll. So get off my tail, or else you will get to say hello to my jolly sharks. Got up, like, don't you know? Don't you know? You should know that I'll fight them all. These sharks got up, like, don't you know? Hurry up and get it done. With all of my patience to the ground. If you need me here, these sharks got up, like, don't you know? Ooh, yeah, you better keep on. When I try, I'm second to none. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You will get to say hello to my dog. The sharks got up, like, don't you know?